Okay, so first step is to become aware of the distractions in your mind and exhale the distractions. Breathe out. As you breathe out, let go of anything that could distract you from getting accurate information. Emotional distractions, physical distractions, even advanced perceptions of what the target may be, that can be a distraction too, even though it can be accurate. So breathe in and out a few times and relax. And when you feel that your mind is quiet and calm, you can put your hand on the paper and just let your hand move and describe your ideogram. Draw your ideogram. Don't even think about it. Just let your hand move. Your subconscious already knows everything about this next target. So trust it. Put your hand on the paper. Let your hand move. And when you have your ideogram on the page, and it should be basically one continuous line, even if it moves around, just continuous. Put your pen into the ideogram or use your finger, probe the ideogram, and get some descriptors on the page. First, you want to get the basic impressions, the basic gestalt. Man-made, natural, water, person, motion, energy, information. Which feels most correct for the ideogram that you just drew? What feels correct to you for the basic impression of the target? The most basic impression that you can describe. When you've chosen a basic impression, probe the ideogram again and describe some of your sensory impressions. Describe colors, sounds, textures and temperatures, tastes, smells, ambience, contrasts, what feels correct. Don't second guess yourself. If you get any nouns, let them go on the right side of the page. Put the pen down a second and continue. And now, some dimensionals and magnitudes. Size, mass, orientation, direction, density, patterns. What patterns do you perceive? Shapes. Space, volume. Any vibrationals and energetics. And now, if you'd like, move 50 feet over the target area and describe patterns, directions, colors, textures. And now, draw a sketch. A little sketch. Put your hand on the page. Let your hand move. If you were at the target location, what might it look like? Pay attention again to shapes, patterns, size, orientation. What fits? What feels correct? If you get any nouns, any analysis, make sure you write it down, but put it on the right side of the page and just let go of it. You can describe your sketch a little bit. If you've drawn a little sketch, you could put a couple of words, labeling what it is. And then you could end your session whenever you're ready and describe a few sentence summary of describing the target location. Now, in general, it does do better to take more time to do this, but we're constrained by the realities that we have here. But in general, if you're doing this at home, you might want to take half an hour or an hour to do a target, even longer. The longer you spend, the more detail you'll get. So write a little summary of your session. If you were describing this target, can you describe it just looking at some of the words you used? Okay, does anybody need more time? Are you ready to get your target feedback? We want to have a few minutes here for questions, so I'm sure we could do this for another hour or two. I really enjoy the viewing process, and an afternoon can go by really quickly when you're doing this because it's such a engaging process. Are we ready for the target feedback? Can we have the slide projector, please? This is Stonehenge. On Ron's crop circle tours, we go to Stonehenge every year, and this is one of the times we visited there. Did you perhaps get 4 or 6, something like that, or a sense of heaviness? Anybody get a sense of heaviness? Excuse me? Someone got Stonehenge. Very good. Yes? Tall tower archway. You can go through it. That's target contact. Yes, I would say so. Yes?
I got very heavy, solid, squat, old, heavy on ground.
Very heavy. Movable. Natural or man-made heavy, solid, squat object. I would say that describes Stonehenge, yes. Yes? A city with lots of tall buildings, some in the foreground. Some in the foreground, some in the background, and yeah. It might have been a city at a previous time. We think it was. So this is one more here. Repeated patterns with openings. Chalky gray white. This is built on chalk. Earth movers. Now that's target contact. In the back there. I can't quite hear. Yes? A tower? Yes, towers. Eating place, towers, that's good. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of people there at one time. Well, what I'd like to do now, actually I'd like to have some time for your questions. And I just want to say one thing, if you want to find out more about our institute, we have information on our table. I'll be signing your copy of Opening Minds over there in a few minutes when we're done. And I'd like to get any of your questions or reactions to this right here at the mic. We've got about 5 or 6 minutes. Does anyone like to ask any questions? This is a big topic. There are lots of questions. I have lots of questions. I'm sure you do.